Yes, sir.
So last class we completed Kingdom Monera, and this class we are going to start Kingdom Protista. Okay, so this is a very Kingdom Protista because in your 11th and 12th standard NCRT books we have a lot of examples, lot of organisms. Those are comes under Kingdom Protista. Organisms have a unique character. Here we start with they are single celled eukaryotes. So no, these are very important point. Okay, so we are discussed basic character eukaryotes. Okay, single celled eukaryotes. Okay, we see simply we can expect a question: which of the following kingdom has unicellular eukaryote? The Protistants are unicellular eukaryotes. Okay, and at the same time, the kingdom is not have well defined boundary characteristics, and it also has animal characteristics. Okay, so that's why boundary is not defined properly. Topic is in this kingdom we are going to discuss almost five type of Protistants. They are chrysophytes and dinoflagellates, moles, and protozoans. Okay, so especially protozoans also very important. Okay, right. So in this kingdom, on these kingdoms, respect to need point of view, we have to follow certain basic rules. Okay, so while we are approaching any kingdom, habitats அது எங்க வாழுது அப்படின்னு தெரிஞ்சுக்கணும். So their habitat is very very important. Okay, so a habitat is the place where they are living. Okay, habitat. Okay, so இது தெரிஞ்சுக்கங்க. Habitat is very important. And second important one வந்து they are reproduction and they are food habitation. Okay, so இது ரெண்டுமே நீங்க ஞாபகம் வச்சுக்கணும். அதனுடைய habitat, food, nutrition, mode of nutrition, their important characteristics, other special characters. For example, here we start with they are primarily aquatic. So kingdom Protestant. So second point one day, being a eukaryotes, they are contains well defined nucleus. Note down the kingdom Monera we didn't see the membrane bound organelles, and there is not well defined nucleus also in Protestant kingdom. Defined nucleus and other membrane bound organelles. So these two characteristic features makes Protestant organisms differ from eukaryotes. Also have flagella and cilia. These are the outgrowths of the cell. Okay, if you look any organisms have flagella. Okay, so we also know there are some have a cilia also. Cilia also a small helping these organisms for movement. So mortality இது ரொம்ப ரொம்ப யூஸ்ஃபுல்லா இருக்கும் ஒரு இடத்துல இருந்து இன்னொரு இடத்துக்கு மூவ் ஆகிறதுக்கு. And while we are talking about organisms, they will reproduce by asexually and sexually. Okay, so by asexual through cell fusion and இந்த எல்லா லைனுமே நீங்க படிச்சு பார்த்தீங்கன்னா எங்கிருந்து வேணாலும் கொஸ்டின் கேட்கலாம். ஏன்னா அவ்வளோ கண்டென்ட் இருக்குங்க. ஸோ அதனால எவ்ரி லைன் வி ஹாவ் டு அனலைஸ். ஸோ ஃபர்ஸ்ட் அதுக்கு well defined nucleus இருக்கும், and they also have membrane bound organelles, and they have flagella and cilia, and their reproduction and their reproduction in the points வந்து நம்ம அடுத்தடுத்து பார்ப்போம். And here we conclude the basic characteristics of kingdom Protista. And now organisms, okay, different groups which are comes under kingdom Protista. Okay, are you understood the characteristics? Any doubts regarding? Shall we continue?
Yes, sir.
Okay, right. So the first group of organisms, chrysophytes, and golden algae, which are also called desmids. See, these two group of organisms which are included in chrysophytes. See, organisms பத்தி படிக்கும்போதும், so we need to know their habitats and their reproduction and their mode of nutrition. These three important point, very important. Okay, right. So they are include diatoms and golden algae, chrysophytes, and they are found in freshwater as well as habitat. I mean, they given a habitat of chrysophytes. So the chrysophytes can grow freshwater as well as marine environment, and they are very and float passively in the water current. Here the water current is nothing but every the water body, okay, like the seas and water. So the water movement will always takes place in a particular direction. Okay, that is a water current. And these chrysophytes, if they are the of water, and they will move respective side whether the winds are blows. Okay, and most of them are photosynthetic nutrition. They are autotrophs, so they are photosynthetic. In diatoms, the cell wall forms two thin overlapping cells. So now we are talking about diatoms, forms two thin overlapping cells which fit together as soap box. So இப்போ நம்ம வீட்ல வந்து ஒரு soap box இருக்கும் இல்லையா, அந்த மாதிரி வந்து they overlapping cells inside the cells, their body is there. Okay, and the walls are embedded with silica. So this is another very important every protestant organism, the cell wall deposition is very important. They have different compositions, and we need to know differentiate these the walls are embedded with silica, and thus the walls are indestructible. Note down, they are indestructible due to they are embedded with silica. Find large amount of cell wall deposits in their habitat. இப்போ அது ஒரு கடல்ல ஒரு பர்டிகுலர் பாண்ட்லி இல்ல ஒரு ஃப்ரெஷ் வாட்டர் இல்ல மெரைன் வாட்டர்ல வாழும்போது, if when they die, what happened, they will deposited their bodies on the surface of the soil. Okay, this deposition after some time they வந்து இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு அதனுடைய பாட்டம்ல வந்து they forms a structure which is called diatomaceous earth. Okay, so they are cells which deposited walls when they are die, they are also deposited on the surface of the body, water body, whatever, wherever the conditions. Okay, this content which is called diatomaceous earth. Okay, because they are diatoms, so that's why the name itself diatomaceous earth. So what's the what is the utilization of these diatomaceous earth? So it is being gritty, so அதனால என்ன பண்றாங்கன்னா they are using the polishing and filtration of oils. Importance of diatomaceous earth, and the most important one, diatoms are chief producers in the ocean. See, இது வந்து கடல்ல வாழும்போது they are தான் மற்ற ஆர்கானிசம்ஸ் வளரும். அப்போ which of the following protestant organisms are chief producers in the ocean அப்படின்னு ஒரு question. Okay, and which of the following protestant organisms they forms diatomaceous earth அப்படின்னு கேட்கலாம், and it could be chrysophyte. And next, what is the mineral which is deposited in the walls of chrysophytes in கேட்கலாம், so silica could be. Okay, and the most important one, this soap box, the following protestant கேட்கலாம், அதுக்கும் chrysophytes. Okay, so we can expect a number of questions from this content. Okay, so that's why this is very important. expect question from anywhere. Okay, so now you need to know these all the points. Okay, once again I will repeat. We are repeating with their exam are dismids, and their habitat is freshwater as well as marine environment, and they are very microscopic level organisms, so that's why they are float passively on synthetic. The mode of nutrition is photosynthetic because they consist pigments. If they consist pigments, they will do photosynthesis, so that's why they are autotrophs also. Okay. Silica, and they also forms diatomaceous earth when they die, and the diatomaceous earth economically is very important, and it is used in, and the most important one is diatoms are chief producers in the oceans. Okay, so any doubts regarding chrysophytes? The points we discussed here are understood.
Sir,
Guys, yes.
sir, if they ask generally chief
கேளுங்க.
producers, they generally general அப்படின்னு ஒரு question கேட்டா what should we answer?
Yeah. Oceans. If they mention diatoms, definitely it could be the answer. Okay,
Okay,
because they are planktons, phytoplankton are consuming the planktons. Okay, so the planktons are growing wherever there is a condition which is, I mean, இருக்கக்கூடாது, ஒரு ஷாலோ வாட்டர்ஸ்ல இது வளரும். அந்த ரீஜன்ல மற்ற ஃபிஷஸ் வந்து இது சாப்பிட்டு வளரும். அப்போ cycle in the aquatic condition, they are the chief producers. Okay,
yes sir.
okay, so any other students having doubts regarding this? Madina, Navid?
Sir, what
Hello?
is sir?
Can you repeat?
Gritty.
Hello? Okay, being gritty, அது நம்ம எப்படி சொல்லலாம்னா ஒரு மாதிரியா சொரசொரப்பா இருக்குன்னு சொல்றோம்ல.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Right. ஏதாவது டவுட் இருந்தா சொல்லுங்க. அடுத்த டைனோஃபிளாஜெல்லேட்ஸ் பத்தி பார்க்கலாம். Okay, so next one is dinoflagellates, the next second type of protistans, and they are mostly marine and photosynthetic. See, this is the difference between, in chrysophytes we saw they are in freshwater, they are freshwater organisms, and they are also marine water. But if you look, is very important, the mostly marine, and they also for characteristic feature of dinoflagellates are having different colors like yellow, green, brown, blue, and red. So these colors they have. Okay, so pigments are there in dinoflagellates, and at the same time when we talk about this cell wall of dinoflagellates as stiff cellulose plates. Okay, and here weeds are deposited by silica, but in dinoflagellates their cell wall is deposited by cellulose plates, especially on their outer surface. Character is they have flagella. Look at this is the flagella. Okay, so but here the number of flagellas are longitudinally. So look at this one, this is the longitudinally arranged one, and another one is transversely in a furrow. See, look at this is the furrow, this is the furrow have another one like this. Okay, so one is transversely present and another one is longitudinally arranged. So there are two flagella flagellates. Di means two, flagella means two. I mean, flagella means here. Okay, they are the output. So two flagellates. Okay, transversely arranged. Okay, so this is the third point. And fourth point, there are some examples are given here. Goniolax. Okay, it is why it is named as a red dinoflagellates, because whenever they are growing in a ocean or seas, due to rapid multiplication, red colors. Okay, so they makes the sea appear, I mean, red due to the rapid multiplication. Okay, suddenly they will increase their, they will multiply the particular water body and they make the water body into different color. Okay, so it's depend upon the which dinoflagellates are there. Dinoflagellates, wherever it grows and it rapidly multiply, and then the water body become red in color. Okay, so this is the fourth important point. And the fifth important point, they also release toxins. Okay, so to kill such as fishes. Okay, so these are all the very very unique and important characteristic feature of dinoflagellates. So once again, I marine, and they are photosynthetic, and they have different color pigments. And just a so இதுல ஏதாவது டவுட் இருந்தா கேளுங்க. டைனோஃபிளாஜெலேட்ஸ்ல ஏதாவது டவுட் இருக்கா?
No, sir.
See here, the comparative study is very important among the protestant organisms. See how the gynoflagellates are differ from chrysophytes. And இதே மாதிரி ஒவ்வொரு protestant organism பார்க்கும்போதும் நீங்க அதுல என்னென்ன டிஃபரன்ஸ் பார்த்துட்டு வரணும். And next one is euglenoids. So in stagnant water. See, when we saw chrysophytes, they are freshwater and marine water organisms, and dinoflagellates are mostly present in freshwater, especially in stagnant water. அப்படியே அப்படியே நின்று இருக்கும் இல்லையா தண்ணி, இப்போ குளம் குட்டை மாதிரியான தண்ணியில இது வளரும் யூக்ளினாய்ட்ஸ். ஓகே, and here the instead cell wall, they have which layer pellicle. Euglenoids, there is no true cell wall is there. There is no true cell, but there there's some protein content layer pellicle. Okay, so the pellicle Okay, sorry. So இன்டர்நெட் வந்து ரொம்ப வீக்காக இருக்குங்க. எனக்கு கனெக்ஷன்ஸ் ரொம்ப வீக்காக இருக்கு, அதனால டிஸ்கனெக்ட் ஆயிடுச்சு. Now it is audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, right, listen. Okay, so they are freshwater and they are mostly found in stagnant water, and they didn't have a true cell wall, but they have a protein rich layer called pellicle. And this pellicle layer make them very flexible. And again, like dinoflagellates, here the euglenites also have flagella. Okay, but here the flagella composition and the number of flagella is similar. Okay, here also the two flagella, but the structural wise they are differ from dinoflagellates, because in dinoflagellates one is longitudinally arranged, another one is transversely arranged. But in euglenites, one is larger one, longer one, another one is very shorter one. Okay, so a short and a long one flagellas are there. Though they are photosynthetic in presence of sunlight, when they deprived of sunlight, they behave like heterotrophs. See, they have a pigments like higher plants. Okay, what they have in higher, what are the pigments are present in higher plants, they also have, right? Euglena also have. But here, when there is absence of sunlight, okay, deprived of sunlight, they behave like predating. Okay, they will predate when there is a absence of sunlight. When there is a sunlight, they will do photosynthesis. Okay, so there are two type of nutrition mode is there, so you should note down this. Okay, so interestingly, the pigments of euglenites are identical to those present in higher plants. So the best example for euglenites here, the euglena. So this is the euglena. Okay, so there are four important points you need to know here. They are freshwater organisms, and they are cell wall which is made up of pellicle, and they have two flagella, one is short, another one is long, and they have a different type of nutrition. Okay, so one is photosynthetic, another one is heterotroph, I mean autotroph and heterotroph. When there is a light, they will do photosynthesis and they become autotrophs. When there is an absence of sunlight, and they will do predating. Okay, so these are all the unique characteristic features of euglenites. And again, we can compare euglenites with the dinoflagellates and the chrysophytes also, based on the habitat and flagellate structure. Okay, and next one is slime mold. So another very important protist organism, because the slime molds are totally different from other three, because they are somehow doing photosynthesis. See, the photosynthesis is common in euglenite, dinoflagellates, and chrysophytes, because they are autotrophs. But in slime molds, they are saprophytes. So this is another very important point. We can expect a question, which of the following protist organism are saprophytic protist? Otherwise, we can expect match type also. So ஒரு காலம்ல match slime mold கொடுத்துட்டு opposite காலம்ல saprophytic protist கொடுக்கலாம். So அதனால இங்க நீங்க clear note பண்ணிக்கணும். The body moves along a decaying twigs and leaves, engulfing organic materials. Look at this one. So this is the structure. Okay, this is slime mold. Okay, so they, through engulfing leaves and twigs, decaying twigs, it can get the energy. And whenever there is a suitable conditions, they form an aggregation called plasmodium. Note down, there is an aggregation called plasmodium, and which may grow and spread over several fields. This is condition forms whenever it has suitable condition, but during unfavorable conditions, the plasmodium differentiate and forms fruiting bodies. Note down the term fruiting bodies is very important. And from the fruiting bodies, it can produce spores. Okay, so these spores, when there is a favorable conditions, the spores are dispersed. Okay, and in that line முக்கியமான விஷயம் என்னன்னா, these spores forms a true wall, right? So இங்க நம்ம பார்க்கிறோம் euglenites-ல pellicle இருக்கு, dinoflagellates-ல cellulose plates இருக்கு, chrysophytes-ல silica இருக்கு, and based on the wall deposition also they have differences. Okay, and they are extremely resistant and survive for many years. Okay, so இதுவும் கொடுத்திருக்காங்க, even under adverse conditions. Okay, due to spores, right? And these spores are dispersed by air currents.
Sir,
Yes.
Sir, but the spores are the offsprings, no, sir. So,
Hmm.
so that's a difference, no, sir.
Yeah, that's why.
Adult,
See,
the
they
offsprings,
possess
there's a
true
difference.
walls, which means here the walls are made up of these pores, not like a depository substances or protein-rich layer. That makes saprophyte differ from other three dinoflagellates. I think you are expecting something, right? You are expecting some other answer.
No, sir.
Can you? Mhm.
Adult and spore is the like small, young age, no, young stage, right, sir?
Yeah, okay, okay.
So in that euglenoids and dinoflagellates, they are and all adult only have a silicon like that, no, sir.
Hmm.
But
See
here the
here, no,
offspring,
no. See, when the mature organism only
huh,
will produce spores. When they
okay,
are producing spores, the unfavorable condition, that is very important. During favorable conditions, they will form a plasmodium and they will grow. During unfavorable condition only, to avoid the unfavorable conditions, they have a difference mechanism, that is spore formation. Okay, it is not usually happens when they are facing unfavorable condition only they will produce these spores.
okay, sir.
Right. Okay, any other doubts from the slime molds? It is clear. Shall we move protozoans? Hello?
Yes,
I
sir.
understood. Okay. Right. Next one is protozoans. See, the all protozoans are heterotrophs. See, this is very unique. Another protista organisms, all are heterotrophs. And here the only one predator, that is euglenoids. When they divide sunlight, otherwise they will do photosynthesis. But here the protozoans are, they are act as a predator and sometimes they are parasites also. And these protozoans are believed to be primitive relatives of animals. இன்னைக்கு வந்திருக்கக்கூடிய அனிமல்ஸ் வந்து இந்த புரோட்டோசோவான்ஸ்ல இருந்து தான் வந்திருக்கும் அப்படின்ற மாதிரி சொல்றாங்க எவல்யூஷன் தியரி வைஸ் பார்க்கும்போது. பட் there is no true evidence. Okay, but there are some characters. And there are four major groups of protozoans are there. So இதுதான் நம்ம இப்போ பார்க்க போறோம். The first one is amoeboid protozoa, and second one is flagellated protozoa, and third one is ciliated protozoa, and the last one is sporozoa. So these are all the different types of four types of protozoans. And let me talk about amoeboid protozoa. The name itself, they are amoeboid like structures. Okay, but their habitat is fresh water, seawater, or moist soil. So these are all the three regions, okay, or three habitats the amoeboid protozoans will grow. And they move and capture their prey by putting out pseudopodia. See, amoebal இருக்கிற மாதிரி இதுலயும் வந்து false feeds வந்து form ஆகும். I hope உங்களுக்கு இது எல்லாருக்கும் தெரிஞ்சிருக்கும்னு நினைக்கிறேன். Amoeba doesn't have a proper structure, and these are all the pseudopodias. Okay, so these, through the pseudopodias, they will putting their prey inside. Okay, and there are some marine forms, amoeboid protozoans, and these marine forms have a silica shells on their surface, not on their cell wall, so on their surface. Okay, so this is another unique character. Which of the following protozoans they have a silica cells on their surface அப்படின்னு கேட்கலாம். So amoeboid protozoa. Okay, the answer could be amoeboid protozoa. Now, and we also having examples here. Entamoeba histolytica, I hope everybody aware about it. It is the a pathogen can cause amoebiasis or amoebic dysentery. So Entamoeba histolytica, it is a food and waterborne pathogen. It is also protozoa. So usually in humans it will cause amoebiasis. Okay, so we can expect Entamoeba, name itself it has amoeba, so that's why it's very easy to answer if you have any question regarding amoeboid protozoa. Okay, so next one is flagellated protozoa. So these members, okay, I mean flagellated protozoan members, so maybe they either free living or parasites. Okay, both the characteristics are there. and they have flagella also. That's why they name itself they flagellated protozoa. And these are all the flagellated protozoans. Parasitic forms also there. One of the parasite is trypanosoma, which can cause sleeping sickness, and entamoeba causing amoebic dysentery. Trypanosoma can cause sleeping sickness. So we can expect a question based on the examples also. ஒரு காலம்ல உங்களுக்கு வந்து இப்படி கொடுக்கலாம். ஓகே, ஒரு காலம்ல அந்த புரோட்டோசோவானுடைய நேம் கொடுக்கலாம், அண்ட் அடுத்த காலம்ல அதனுடைய எக்ஸாம்பிள்ஸ் கொடுக்கலாம். ஓகே, ஸோ இந்த மாதிரியும் நமக்கு வந்து கொஸ்டின் எக்ஸ்பெக்ட் பண்ணலாம். ஸோ அதனால ஒவ்வொரு புரோட்டோசோவை பற்றி படிக்கும் போதும் அதனுடைய எக்ஸாம்பிள்ஸ் தெரிஞ்சுக்கிறது ரொம்ப நல்லது. நெக்ஸ்ட் ஒன் இஸ் ciliated protozoans. The ciliated protozoans, they have a cilia. So these, with the help of these cilia, they will get the movement, and they also use these cilia for getting prey also, food also. So they have a cavity which is also called gullet, open to the outside of the cell surface. Okay, so the coordination movement of rose cilia cause the water laden with the food to be steered into the gullet. So on the opening valiya, with the help of these cilia, the water enter into that, and if the water consists any food items, it will consumed. Okay, so the best example is paramecium. Of course, everybody I think knows this is the paramecium. Okay, paramecium is the best example for ciliated epithelium, and flagellated epithelium is trypanosoma. Amoeboid protozoa is entamoeba. And the last one is very important, sporozoans. Okay, so this is one of the very important pathogen, because it causes malaria in humans. Okay, different type of malarial organisms are there: Plasmodium vivax, Plasmodium falciparum. But among Plasmodium falciparum is very malignant one. Okay, so sporozoans, நம்ம எல்லாருக்கும் தெரியும் மலேரியாவை காஸ் பண்ணக்கூடிய அந்த பிளாஸ்மோடியம் தான் இதுக்கு ஒரு பெஸ்ட் எக்ஸாம்பிள். ஓகே, ரைட். Any doubts regarding protozoa? Right, protozoas are heterotrophs. That's why they act as a predator, and they are also act as a parasites. And there are 4 types: amoeboid, flagellated, ciliated, and protozoans. Okay, flagellated ke example and the trypanosoma, ciliated ke example paramecium, and the sporozoa ke best example and the malaria. Okay, idhila edha doubt irundha kelunga, illana நம்ம அடுத்த kingdom start பண்ணிடலாம். Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I think many students are there, but you are not responded. Okay, please respond. Okay, otherwise I will fail. I am alone. Okay, so this is online class, right? So நீங்க யாருமே பதில் சொல்லனா நான் மட்டும் ஏதோ என் லேப்டாப்க்கு கிளாஸ் எடுக்கிற மாதிரி இருக்கும். ஓகே, so just say understood or not. Okay, ask doubts. Okay, doubts நிறைய கேளுங்க, அது ரொம்ப நல்லது உங்களுக்கும். ஓகே, ரைட். The next one is kingdom fungi. சும்மா எல்லாரும் பதில் சொல்றாங்க, யாருமே டவுட் கேட்கல, நீங்களும் சைலண்டா இருக்காதீங்க. You can ask doubts. Okay, regarding the content we discussed. Okay, the next one is next kingdom is fungi. So another eukaryotic organism. In kingdom fungi, which includes multicellular organism except yeast. Yeast is a fungi. It's a unicellular fungi. Okay, right. So they show a great diversity in morphology and habitat because they are cosmopolitans. So then what is the meaning of cosmopolitan? Cosmopolitan. They occur in water, air, soil, on animals and plants. That's why it is available everywhere. It present everywhere. So that's why they are called cosmopolitan. And during second wave, okay, corona, the people they also suffered some black fungus, yellow fungus, white fungus disease also. Okay, so it will transmit through air also. That's why they will present air. So that's why these fungi organisms are called cosmopolitan organisms. Okay, right. So these fungi, some of the fungi organisms, they can cause disease in plants and animals, and even plants. Okay, there is a organism Puccinia. okay, which can cause rust in wheat plant. So you need to know the name of the plant and the name of the fungi which causing the disease, rust, okay. And some are the source of antibiotics. We know the penicillium is one of the important antibiotics, okay, antibiotic produced by Penicillium notatum. There is also fungi, okay. So அதே மாதிரி பார்த்தீங்கன்னா அது எல்லா இடத்துலையும் வளரும் அப்படின்னு சொல்லியிருந்தோம் நம்ம, okay, disease காஸ் பண்ணக்கூடிய பேத்தோஜனாகவும் இருக்கும், right. With exception of yeast, which are unicellular, fungi are filamentous, okay. So their body consists long slender thread like structures called hypae. So நீங்க ஒரு hypae எடுத்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா இந்த மாதிரி ஒவ்வொரு hypaeவும் இந்த மாதிரி filamentous structure ஃபார்ம் ஆயிருக்கும், okay. And இந்த மாதிரி, ஸோ இந்த filamentous structure வந்து சில நேரங்களில் பிரான்ச்சாகவும் இருக்கலாம், okay, இந்த மாதிரி பிரான்ச்சாகவும் இருக்கலாம், okay, right. They will be like this, okay. So இதுதான் நம்ம இந்த இடத்துல mycelium அப்படின்னு சொல்றோம், the body which is called mycelium, okay. It is known as mycelium. And some hypae are continuous tubes filled with multinucleated cytoplasm. What is mean by multinucleated cytoplasm? See, in some fungi, they don't have a cross wall like this, okay, they will have like this. So inside the mycelium, many nuclei are there like this without separating a wall, okay. So this condition, which is called multinucleated cytoplasm, okay, otherwise it is called cenocytic phase. This is also called inocytic hyphae, okay. Note down, it's very important, multinucleated cytoplasm. So hyphae is called inocytic hyphae, okay. And their cell wall of fungi, they composed with chitin and polysaccharides. We discussed in protista organism, they have silica, cellulose plates all. In plants, we know cell wall made up of cellulose. Fungi, the cell wall made up of chitin and polysaccharides. So we can expect a question, which of the following substances are present in the cell wall of fungi? We can expect a question like this. So answer could be chitin and polysaccharide. And most fungi are heterotrophic and they absorb absolute organic matter from dead substances. So they are called saprophytes. And some other organisms are parasites and some other symbionts. Symbiotic association is very important for certain plants. For example, higher plants like pinus, they have an association with fungi. The symbiotic relationship is called mycorrhiza. Mycorrhiza. Myco means fungi. Mycology is the study of fungi. So rhiza means roots. So some fungi, they have association with pinus or other higher plants. So they are called mycorrhiza. And another form is lichen. So lichens have a symbiotic relationship between algae and fungi. Okay, one on the algae and another one is fungi, okay. So இதை பத்தி நம்ம இன்னும் டீடைலா லாஸ்ட் பார்ட்ல பார்க்கலாம். What are all the lichens and what is the role of algal part and what is the role of fungi part, இதெல்லாம் நம்ம அடுத்து பார்க்கலாம், okay, right. So அதுக்கப்புறம் நம்ம பார்க்க போறது ஃபங்கைனுடைய ரீப்ரொடக்ஷன் பார்க்க போறோம். அப்படின்னு சொல்லும்போது வெஜிடேட்டிவ் மீன்ஸ் நடக்கும், செக்ஷுவல் நடக்கும், ஏசெக்ஷுவல் நடக்கும். இங்க வெஜிடேட்டிவ் ரீப்ரொடக்ஷன் அப்படின்றது பை ஃப்ராக்மெண்டேஷன், ஃபிஷன், பட்டிங், okay. Fragmentation is nothing but a small fragment of hyphae which is fragmented, and when it is fall on respective substratum, and the fallen fragment will give rise to new hyphae, okay. So and fission is nothing but division, a single hyphae divided into two equal hyphae, okay. And budding is another very important asexual vegetative means, especially in yeast, okay. In yeast there is a small bud forms, and when the bud is detached from the mother plant, okay, and it gives rise to another hyphae, okay. So budding, fission, fragmentation, these three comes under vegetative reproduction. And at the same time, fungi also reproduce asexually, producing spores. And here you need to know what are all the asexual spores and what are all the sexual spores. Here they clearly depicted a mention, okay, gonidia, sporangiospores or zoospores. Okay, so these three are different type of asexual spores, and there are some sexual reproductions also takes place by other pores. They are called oospores, ascospores, and basidiospores. Here you need to categorize these spores, okay, based on their characteristics. For example, what are all the sexual reproduction spores and what are all the asexual spores? So oospore, ascospore, basidiospores are the sexual spores, and gonidia, sporangiospores, zoospores are asexual spores. Okay, right. And the same time, another very unique character is this fungi body will forms a fruiting bodies. Whenever there is a word fruiting body, it able to produce spores. Okay, so these asexual sexual spores are produced by the fruiting body of the fungi. Okay, right. So here they have a sexual reproduction. The sexual reproduction, which consists 3 steps. The first one is plasmogamy, and then it is followed by karyogamy, and finally it is ended with the meiosis. So what is plasmogamy? Plasma means plasma, okay, right? Adavadhu protoplasm. Okay, so if assume, okay, இப்போ நம்ம கண்ணுக்கு தெரியுதுன்றது வந்து ஜஸ்ட் அதனுடைய கொடை தான் நமக்கு தெரியும் இல்லையா, ஆல்கி அந்த ஃபங்கைனோட அந்த இதுதான் தெரியும் நமக்கு. பட் அதனுடைய என்டையர் பார்ட் வந்து சாயிலுக்குள்ள இருக்கலாம். ஓகே, அதனுடைய ஐஃபே இங்க இருக்கலாம். ஓகேவா? ஸோ இப்படி 2 ஐஃபேவுடைய அந்த புரோட்டோபிளாசம் வந்து ஃபியூஸ் ஆகக்கூடிய இந்த ப்ராசஸ்க்கு நம்ம வந்து பிளாஸ்மோகேமி அப்படின்னு சொல்றோம். ஸோ ஆக்சுவலி தீஸ் ஹைஃபேஸ் ஆர் ஹாப்ளாய்ட். ஓகே, haploid means they are n. Okay, they are n. Okay, haploids. The body is haploid body. Fungi body is made up of haploid cells. When these 2 haploid cells fuse together, they forms a diploid cell. Okay, here the diploid is nothing but zygote actually. Okay, so they form zygote. The zygote is diploid because they are haploids. Okay, they form haploids. Now the zygote, okay, again there is a fusion between the nuclei. Okay, so if anga oru rendu nuclei adha diploid cell irukkudiya, assume this is a diploid and there is a nucleus. So the nucleus now divides equally. Okay, எப்படி divide ஆகும் அப்படினா இந்த மாதிரி இது ரெண்டு nucleus தனித்தனியா பிரிஞ்சிரும். Okay, so one nucleus which is divide into 2, the process is called karyogamy, which means இந்த இடத்துல நீங்க பார்க்கும்போது see இந்த பிளாஸ்மோகேமில முடிஞ்சதுக்கு அப்புறம் நம்ம இந்த இடத்துல மியாசிஸ் பத்தி நான் இங்க சொல்லியிருக்கேன். ஓகே, காரியோகேமி அப்படின்றது ஃபியூஷன் ஆஃப் 2 நியூக்ளியை. ஓகே, ஸோ இதுக்கு முன்னாடி இருந்த இந்த 2 நியூக்ளியவும் இந்த ரெண்டுத்துல இருக்கு இல்லையா, இது வந்து இப்போ என்ன ஆயிடுச்சுன்னா ஃபியூஸ் ஆயிடுச்சு, ஒன்னா ஃபியூஸ் ஆயிடுச்சு, ஃபியூஷன் ஆஃப் காரியோகேமி. ஓகே, ரைட். அண்ட் காரியோகைனசிஸ் அப்படின்றது இட்ஸ் டிஃப்ரெண்ட். ஓகே, காரியோகைனசிஸ் தான் டிஃப்ரெண்ட் ஆகும். இங்க காரியோகேமி பார்க்குறோம், தட் இஸ் ஃபியூஷன் ஆஃப் கேமெட்ஸ். ஓகே, fusion of gametes நம்ம karyogamy. first protoplasm fuse ஆகும் and it is followed by nucleus fusion and finally இங்க வந்து என்ன ஃபார்ம் ஆகும்னா zygote ஃபார்ம் ஆகும். இந்த zygote தான் வந்து இப்போ meiosis மெத்தட்ல டிவைட் ஆகும். ஏன் இது meiosis மெத்தட்ல டிவைட் ஆகணும்? ஏன் meiotic division இங்க நடக்கணும்? any guess?
So spores.
Daughter cells.
என்னங்க, once again repeat please.
Daughter cells.
No, daughter cells only, but why should the meiosis? Even mitosis also produce daughter cells, right? Even mitosis also produce.
To produce spores.
Not war. அப்படி இல்ல கண்ணா, இங்க பாருங்க, the body is made up of haploid ன்னு சொல்லியிருக்கேன். Okay, the fungi body which is made up of haploids. The body cells itself they are haploid. இப்போ ஒரு நியூ ஃபங்கை ஃபார்ம் ஆகும்போது அதுவும் ஹாப்ளாய்டா தானே இருக்கணும். ஆனா இங்க என்ன நடக்குது? ஃபியூஷன் ஆஃப் கேமெட்ஸ். கேமெட்ஸ் ஆர் ஆல்வேஸ் ஹாப்ளாய்ட், அதுல எந்த டவுட்டும் வேண்டாம். கேமெட்ஸ் ஆர் ஆல்வேஸ் ஹாப்ளாய்ட். when these 2 haploid cells fuse together they form a diploid cell. so அந்த பாடி வந்து டிப்ளாய்டா இருக்க முடியாது இல்லையா, it should be haploid. so that's why the zygote, the diploid zygote now divide meiotically, it produce 4 haploid cells, and every 4 haploids now gives rise to a new fungi. Okay, so these are all the points you need to know here. Okay, right. So என்ன சொல்லியிருக்காங்க நல்லா கவனிங்க. முதல்ல அதனுடைய ஹாப்ளாய்டு புரோட்டோபிளாசம் வந்து ஃபியூஸ் ஆகுது, அதனால ஒரு டிப்ளாய்டு ஜைகோட் ஃபார்ம் ஆகுது. அந்த டிப்ளாய்டு ஜைகோட் மியாட்டிக் மெத்தட்ல மியாசிஸ் டிவிஷன்ல டிவைட் ஆகும்போது it produce again haploids, and each and every haploid cells gives rise new fungi. Okay, so this is the three important steps. Okay, these are the three important steps of sexual reproduction. The first one is plasmogamy, fusion of protoplasm, and it is followed by karyogamy, and there is a fusion of two nuclei, and finally the zygote, which is diploid in nature, but is divided meiotically, and it produces haploid spores. Okay, right. And இன்னொரு முக்கியமான பாயிண்ட் நம்ம இங்க பார்க்கணும். See, and certain fungi, okay, they have a distinct character, that is dikaryon stage. This is nothing but when protoplasm takes place. Okay, அதாவது plasmogamy இங்க நடந்து முடிஞ்ச உடனே, okay, when there is a plasmogamy, after plasmogamy what happened? The two protoplasts are fused, right? Which means a single cell which consists two nuclei. Okay, which means di. Karyo means nucleus. So two nucleus are there. அதுக்கப்புறம் நமக்கு இந்த இடத்துல இது பிரிஞ்சிடும் இல்லையா? இதுக்கப்புறம் தான் இந்த ரெண்டு நியூக்ளியும் இப்போ என்ன ஆகும்னா ஃபியூஸ் ஆக ஆரம்பிக்கும். ஸோ அதுதான் நம்ம வந்து டிப்ளாய்டு ஜைகோட் அப்படின்னு சொல்றோம் இந்த இடத்துல. ஆனா முதல்ல அதுக்குள்ள ரெண்டு புரோட்டோபிளாசம் மட்டும் ஃபியூஸ் ஆயிருக்கும் போது இந்த நியூக்ளியை தனித்தனியா இருக்கும் இல்லையா? அப்போ ஒரு செல்லுல ரெண்டு நியூக்ளியை இருக்கு. இதுதான் இவங்க என்ன சொல்றாங்கன்னா டைகேரியான் ஸ்டேஜ்னு சொல்றாங்க. இந்த டைகேரியான் ஸ்டேஜ் எந்த பிளான்ட்ல இருக்கும் அப்படின்னா, எந்த ஃபங்கைல இருக்கும் அப்படின்னா ஆஸ்கோமைசிட்ஸ் அண்ட் பெசிடியோமைசிட்ஸ்ல இருக்கும். ஓகே, ஸோ இந்த இடத்துல டைகேரியான் ஸ்டேஜ்க்கு என்ன சொல்லியிருக்காங்க? 2 nuclei per cell. Okay, here look at this 2 nuclei in a cell. So that's the condition which is called dikarya. Okay, the phase is called dikarya phase. Okay va, இதுக்கப்புறம் the parental nuclei fuse and cell become diploid. இந்த ரெண்டு நியூக்ளியை இப்போ ஃபார்ம் ஆனோனே இது டிப்ளாய்டா மாறிடும். Okay, so this condition dikaryon is only present in the members of ascomycetes and basidiomycetes. Okay, இதுல ஏதாவது டவுட் இருந்தா கேளுங்க
சார்.
சொல்லுங்க.
Dikaryophase, can you repeat?
Okay, right. Once again, see, we are discussing same plasmogamy only. It's nothing. Plasmogamy only. So, do you understood what is plasmogamy?
Yes, sir.
So, a two haploid body, the protoplasms are fused. Okay, when they fuse the protoplasm, they have two nuclei, right? So, they fused. Due to fusion, they become a single cell, but they have two nuclei. Okay, in a single cell, it consists two nuclei, the condition which is called dikaryon. Di means two, karyo means nucleus. So in a cell, two nuclei is there. That's why it is called dikaryon. And later, these two nuclei fuse together. Thus the process is called karyogamy. And finally, it is resulted into the meiosis. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Any doubts?
No, sir.
Right. It's clear, right? அடுத்து போயிடலாமா?
So then what is non-dikaryophase?
See, here இங்க அது பாட்டுக்கு அதாவது இங்க கொஞ்சம் சஸ்டைன் ஆகும், கொஞ்ச நேரம் இருக்கும். அதாவது இங்க நீங்க பாத்தீங்கன்னா தெரியும், in some fungi the fusion of two haploid cells immediately results in diploid cells. This is the usual one. This is a non-dikaryon stage. They are continuously divides, they are immediately results in diploid cells. But however, in other fungi like ascomycetes and basidiomycetes, an intervening dikaryon stage, அதுல வந்து இந்த ரெண்டு நியூக்ளியும் உடனே வந்து ஃபியூஸ் ஆகாது. They take some time to fuse. So அந்த மீன் டைம் நம்ம என்ன சொல்றோம் அப்படின்னா dikaryon phase ன்னு சொல்றோம். Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. ஸோ அடுத்து நம்ம இதில் ஒவ்வொரு மெம்பர்ஸ் பற்றியும் நம்ம பார்க்கலாம். ஃபங்கையில் இருக்கக்கூடிய ஒவ்வொரு மெம்பர்ஸ். ஸோ த ஃபர்ஸ்ட் குரூப் வந்து பைக்கோமைசிட்ஸ். அகைன் சேம் ரூல்ஸ் தான் நம்ம இங்கே ஃபாலோ பண்ண போகிறோம், சேம் க்ரைட்டீரியாஸ் தான். habitat பார்க்க போறோம் அண்ட் அதனுடைய பாடி ஸ்ட்ரக்சர், அதனுடைய மைசீலியம் பத்தி பார்க்க போறோம். மைசீலியம் வந்து சீனோசைட்டிக்கா இல்லைன்னா வந்து just a minute, wait a minute, give me a second. So my laptop getting down. Okay, 1 minute time கொடுங்க, நான் சார்ஜ் பிளக் பண்ணிடுறேன். பவர் கட் ஆயிருந்தது, இப்போதான் வந்திருக்கு. just a minute. Okay, thank you so much. Let me start. See, once again, we are going to discuss same points. Habitat first, and their mycelium is second one, and third one is their reproduction. So they have asexual spores and sexual spores, both are there. And the fourth one is example. Okay, the first one is habitat. Note down, these points are very important. You can easily distinguish with these points. Okay, the phycomycetes, ascomycetes, and the third one is basidiomycetes and deuteromycetes. These are all the 4 groups of fungi, and they have their own characteristics, but they are generally, we can categorize some basic characteristics. Okay, other than நம்ம first பார்க்குறோம், அதனுடைய habitat general இருக்கும். அந்த habitat அப்படின்றது generalized. Okay, அது ஒவ்வொரு ஃபங்கையில எப்படி இருக்கு அப்படின்னு நம்ம பார்க்குறோம். For example, in phycomycetes, they are found in aquatic habitats and decaying wood and damp places, or as they are also being obligate parasites on plants. Here the obligate means complete. Okay, complete. They are completely parasites on plants. Okay, so the mycelium is aseptate. What is mean by aseptate? The mycelium is aseptate. What is the meaning? See, if the hyphae has cross walls like this, it is septate. Septa means this is a cross wall. Okay, but some mycelium, like in phycomycetes members, they doesn't have a cross wall like this. Okay, so they are simply having their nuclei like this. Okay, like this. So this is cenocytic mycelium. Okay, yes, yes.
Sir, aseptate means it is cenocytic. It's not
Yes,
acenocytic, right, sir?
yes, yes.
Okay.
ஓகே, செப்டா இருக்காதுங்க, செப்டா இருக்காது, அதான் ஏசெப்டேட்னு சொல்றாங்க. இது மாதிரி நம்ம வந்து மல்டி நியூக்ளியேட் கண்டிஷனை நம்ம என்ன சொல்றோம், சீனோசைட்டிக்னு சொல்றோம். ஓகே, asexual reproduction takes place by zoospores and aplonospores. Here zoospores are motile because they have flagella like this. Okay, they have flagella like this. Okay, but basically they also don't have a motile, some spores. Okay, especially they don't have a flagella, so they are called aplonospores. So the reproduction takes place, asexual reproduction takes place by both zoospores and aplonospores. So zoospores are motile and aplonospores are non-motile. So the motility is decided by the flagella. Okay, so these spores are endogenously produced. That is very important. So when you see the diagram, or when you look at the anatomy of the phycomycetes members, okay, so they are endogenously produced. Endo means inside the mycelium. Okay, the inside the mycelium, they can produce spores, and these spores are released into the atmosphere and they will produce new one. Okay, so which means they are endogenously produced. That is very important. Okay, we can expect a question, a statement based question also. In phycomycetes, the spores are exogenously produced. Instead of endo, they will give you exo. So that is incorrect statement. Okay, a zygospore is formed by fusion of two gametes. Fusion of two gametes. We already discussed this one. Okay, and the gametes are two type. So if they are similar in morphology, they are called isogamous. If they are dissimilar, they are called oogamous or anisogamous. Okay, so there are two type of gametes, and some common examples are given here. The mucor, rhizobus also called bread mold, and albuco. Only three examples are given here. So you need to know which of the following, maybe we can expect question like which of the following is not a phycomycetes. So answer one there, except these three. Okay, could be the answer. So albuco is a parasitic fungi on mustard. So I hope you people are aware about it. These fungi are parasites. Okay, so albuco is a parasite on mustard plant. So we can expect a question in which phycomycetes act as a parasite in mustard abin kekla. So it is albuco. Okay, so once again I will repeat the characteristic features of phycomycetes. The first one is habitat. They are aquatic and they are also present. They are also available in the decaying wood, and they are also obligate parasites on plants. The mycelium is aseptate and sinusoid, and the asexual reproduction takes place by spores. There are two spores. One is motile, another one is non-motile. The name of the spores are also very, very important. We can expect question based on the spores. Okay, what type of spores they have, asexually and sexually. Okay, and the most important one, where they are produced, whether they are produced endogenously or exogenously, that is very important. Okay, right, one nimsham. Okay, right. So another one is there. We have examples, right? So in the examples related down, நம்ம question கேட்கலாம், which of the following is not a phycomycetes அப்படின்னு question கேட்கலாம். So அதனால you need to know these members also: mucor, rhizobus, albuco. So these are all the members of phycomycetes. Okay. Okay, sorry students. Okay, so any doubts regarding phycomycetes?
No, sir.
Very good. Okay, so what is the parasitic fungi on albuco? Sorry, in mustard? The name itself albuco, right?
Albuco.
Yeah, I said answer. Okay, right. Let me talk about ascomycetes. It's another fungi which is also called sac fungi. Because why it is sac? It's look like sac. That's it. The name itself, it's look like sac. So they have a sac like fruiting bodies. So from the fruiting bodies they will produce spores. So that's why they are called sac fungi. And these ascomycetes are mostly multicellular, like penicillium, and rarely they are unicellular, like yeast, Saccharomyces cerevisiae. So except yeast, all other fungi are multicellular. Okay, so you can expect a question, yeast which is comes under which fungi group. Okay, maybe you can expect question like this. So the answer could be ascomycetes. Okay, so these sac fungi also நம்ம ஒரு match type of question கூட expect பண்ணலாம்ப்பா. ஒரு காலம்ல ஆஸ்கோமைசிட்ஸ், அடுத்த காலம்ல வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா சாக் ஃபங்கைன்னு கொடுக்கலாம். அதனுடைய ஜெனரலைஸ்ட் காமன் நேம் கொடுத்து கூட நமக்கு மேட்சிங் கரெக்டா மேட்ச் ஆயிருக்கா இல்ல இன்கரெக்டா மேட்ச் ஆயிருக்கான்னு கூட கொஸ்டின் கேட்கலாம். Okay, and let me talk about their nutrition. Okay, so they are mostly saprophytes and decomposers, parasites, and carpophilous. Note down the term carpophilous. So what it means? So those ascomycetes are growing on dung. Okay, so they are called carpophilous. So carpophilous fungi, which is comes under ascomycetes fungi. Okay, now let me talk about the mycelium of ascomycetes. The mycelium is branched and aseptate, sorry, septate. Okay, so the except phycomycetes, okay, except phycomycetes, all other fungi, ascomycetes, basidiomycetes, deuteromycetes, all are septate. They have a septate mycelium. Okay, I will show. Right. Right, except phycomycetes, other fungi are septate. So here phycomycetes only aseptate. And the point கூட உங்களுக்கு क्वेश्चन கேட்கலாம். So அதனால which of the following group of fungi they are aseptic mycelium, they have aseptic mycelium னு கேட்கலாம். So phycomycetes could be the answer. Okay, the next one is asexual spores of ascomycetes. Okay, like gonidia. Okay, gonidia is it in penicillium. Okay, so penicillium is a multicellular fungi. Okay, it can produce gonidia. So gonidia are the asexual spores. Okay, through the asexual spores it can produce new organism. Okay, let me talk about where they are produced, exogenously or endogenously. Asexual spores are exogenously produced. There is a special structure which is called gonidiospores. Okay, and gonidia on germination produce mycelium. Okay, and these are only asexual spores are mentioned here. And next one is sexual spores are called ascospores, which are produced endogenously. Note down, the sexual spores in ascomycetes are endogenously produced, but asexual spores are produced exogenously. So we can expect a question, maybe incorrect statement. Okay, we can expect incorrect based questions. எப்படி கேட்கலாம் யோசிச்சு பாருங்க. Sexual spores are produced exogenously and asexual spores are endogenously. Okay, இப்படி மாத்தியும் நமக்கு question statement based questions கேட்கலாம், and they will ask us to select which is incorrect statement, correct statement. Okay, and these asci are arranged in different type of fruiting bodies called ascocarp. See, whenever you have a suffix carp, carp, these are all the fruiting bodies. Okay, so ascocarp, basidiocarp. Okay, so and the carp nu varumbodhu you should know they are the fruiting bodies, and from there the spores are produced abdina vechukanga. Okay, right, and we have some examples here: Aspergillus, clavichips, Neurospora. And among these three, Neurospora is widely used in genetic work. Okay, so it is very important, it is doing very important role in genetic work. Okay, molecular biology. And many members like morels, truffles are edible. So nowadays many fungi are edible. Okay, so they are cultivated and they are utilized by humans. Okay, right, so morels and truffles are comes under ascomycetes, adu marandaradinga. Okay, right, so any doubts regarding ascomycetes? Once again I will repeat. So they are multicellular penicillium and unicellular yeast, carpophilous. Okay, carpophilous those are going on dung. Okay, and they are having septate and branched mycelium, and they have asexual spores called gonidia. They are exogenously produced, and sexual spores are endogenously produced, like a sac-like structure called asci. Okay, and these asci arranged in different types of fruiting bodies called ascocarp. Okay, and we are also seeing the examples: Aspergillus, clavichips, and Neurospora. See, Mucor, Rhizobus, albigo, these are all comes under phycomycetes. And questions எப்படி கேட்பாங்க அப்படின்னா, which of the following is not a ascomycetes அப்படின்னு கேட்கும்போது they will include any three of these examples. Okay, here. So that's why there is a clarity. கண்டிப்பா clarity வேணும். எந்த ஃபங்கைல எக்ஸாம்பிள்ஸ் எங்க கொடுத்திருக்காங்க அப்படின்னு, எந்தெந்த மெம்பர்ஸ் எந்த ஃபங்கைக்குள்ள வருது அப்படின்றது உங்களுக்கு கிளியரா தெரியும். And next one is basidiomycetes. They are all commonly called mushrooms. So we are eating, okay? So edible fungi. It's also called fracket fungi, and they are also called puffballs. Okay, so these are all the other names are widely used to call basidiomycetes. Okay, so they are growing in soil, on logs, tree stumps, and they also in living plant as a parasites, rust and smuts. See, we already discussed rust in Puccinia, right? Puccinia it's a rust causing fungi on wheat. Okay, so அது நம்ம ஆல்ரெடி பார்த்திருக்கோம். ஸோ அதனால rust and smuts causing fungi comes under basidiomycetes. Okay, the mycelium is branched and septate. Once again I said, right here I said, except phycomycetes, other three fungi are septate. Okay, and they have branched mycelium. Right, let me talk about the asexual spores of basidiomycetes. See here, the asexual spores are generally not found. So this is another very unique characteristic feature of basidiomycetes, and we can expect question which of the following fungi they generally the asexual spores are not present. Okay, we can expect question like this. So answer could be basidiomycetes. So in basidiomycetes there is no asexual spores, but vegetative reproduction takes place by fragmentation. I already said fragmentation is nothing but the hyphae fragmented, the small fragmented hyphae when it fall on the suitable surface, and it gives rise to new fungi. The sex organs are absent, and again they will give you another point. Okay, we can expect a question statement. Okay, so asexual spores are generally found abin kuttala basidiomycetes la, instead of not found they will give you found, and they will ask us to select which is incorrect statement. Okay, and then sex organs are present abin kuttala, instead of absent they will give you present. Again statement is incorrect. Okay, so these are all the key sentences. Okay, you need to know. So we can expect a question, statement based question கேட்கலாம் இந்த சென்டென்ஸ்ல இருந்து. And but இங்க பாருங்க, when there is a vegetative reproduction, the plasmogamy is brought about by fusion. Okay, நீங்க கேள்விப்பட்டிருப்பீங்க, fusion of two vegetative or somatic cells. Okay, when there is a fusion of plasma membrane, okay, there is a protoplast fusion, automatically it is resulted into the reproduction. Okay, the resultant structure is dikaryotic. So we already discussed, in a single cell it consists two nuclei, that is called dikaryon. So dikaryon phase is predominantly present in basidiomycetes. Okay, and then it is followed by karyogamy and meiosis. So I already discussed why the meiosis takes place, because the fungi plant body is haploids. Okay, so through meiosis only haploid cells are formed. Okay, right. So here 4 basidiospores. Once again, the term 4 explains that it's divided meiotically. Okay, so basidiospores are exogenously produced. Again, exogenously. Okay, so எந்த ஃபங்கை பத்தி படிக்கும் போதும் அதுல இருக்கக்கூடிய ஸ்போர்ஸ் exogenously produce ஆகுதா, endogenously produce ஆகுதான்றது கொஸ்டின். Okay, அதை பேஸ் பண்ணி கொஸ்டின் கேட்கலாம். So basidiospores are endogenously produced on basidium. If statement like this, it could be incorrect. Okay, because they are exogenously produced, and the basidia are arranged in fruiting bodies called basidiocarp. As I said earlier, the carp means they are fruiting body. Okay, so here the basidiomycetes, that's why the fruiting body is called basidiocarp, and at the same time நீங்க ascomycetes la neenga paakumbodhu ascocarp. Okay, right. And finally we have examples also, agaricus, the normal mushroom type. Okay, and the smut is also called astilago, and rust is called Puccinia. So these are all the 3 important examples which is given under basidiomycetes. Okay, we can expect question which of the following is basidiomycetes and not a basidiomycetes, and simply we can expect match type of question also. One column consists basidiomycete and another column consists maybe among these 3 anyone come. Okay, right. And we are going to discuss deuteromycetes also. So deuteromycetes is also called imperfect fungi. See, the collective name is very important. The common name is very important for every fungi group. So in deuteromycetes, they are called imperfect fungi. But basidiomycetes and mushrooms, bracket fungi, puffballs and at the same time, ascomycetes are called sac fungi. இப்படி ஒவ்வொரு ஃபங்கைக்கும் அதுக்கான காமன் நேமை கொடுத்து மேட்ச் டைப்ல நமக்கு வந்து கண்டுபிடிக்கலாம் சொல்லலாம். எது வந்து கரெக்ட்லி மேட்ச், எது வந்து இன்கரெக்ட்லி மேட்ச் அப்படின்னு. ஸோ வெரி இம்பார்ட்டன்ட். ஓகே. And here asexual and vegetative phases of these fungi are known. When there is a sexual form of these fungi discovered, they are put under another fungi. Maybe they are comes under basidiomycetes or ascomycetes. But inga adu irukadu. Okay, ஏனா இங்க asexual or vegetative phases மட்டும் தான் இருக்கும், sexual இது இருக்காது. It is also possible that asexual and vegetative stage have been given one name. Okay, அது எது வேணாலும் இருக்கலாம். Okay, and look at these points. The deuteromycetes are reproduced only by asexual spores known as gonidia. See, we already seen gonidia is asexual spore which is present in ascomycetes. Okay, so அப்போ அதனால இதனால கூட ஒரு क्वेश्चन கேட்கிறதுக்கு சான்சஸ் இருக்கு. Okay, gonidia அப்படின்றது it's a common asexual spore which is present in both deuteromycetes and ascomycetes. ரெண்டுமே क्वेश्चन கேட்கலாங்க, நோட் பண்ணிக்கங்க. And some members are saprophytes or parasites, while large number of them are decomposers. Okay, examples கொடுத்திருக்காங்க: Alternaria, Colitotrichum, Trichoderma. These are all the 3 examples. See, listen carefully. If you have any doubt, please ask me, because this Sunday you have a test and I included the questions. Okay, I mean those are from this lesson also. Okay, so அதனால வந்து the paper which includes both lesson questions, biological classification as well as living world. Okay, because இன்னைக்கு வந்து Thursday தான், so Friday, Saturday 2 days are there. So அதனால நான் உங்களுக்கு அந்த இந்த லெசன்ல இன்னும் क्वेश्चंस கேட்டிருக்கேன். ஸோ அதனால நல்லா கவனிச்சுக்கோங்க. ஏதாவது டவுட்ஸ் இருந்தால் क्वेश्चन கேட்டுருங்க. Deuteromycetes. Okay. டவுட் இருக்கா இதுல?
No, sir.
கிளியரா? ஓகேங்க. அதெல்லாம் ஒண்ணும் இல்லை சார். Students, shall we continue with another kingdom, plant kingdom?
Yes, sir.
Okay, see, we are going to discuss a plant kingdom in a separate lesson. Okay, but under this content we have 2 key points. We need to know these 2 points. Okay, only, and otherwise we are having a separate lesson, and in that lesson we will discuss in detail. So now basically plants are autotrophs, right? So they will do photosynthesis for their food. But some members of plant kingdom, they are differentiated and they are insectivorous, or they are sometimes they are called parasites also. Okay, so these insectivorous plants are growing in certain regions, a lack of nutrients. Okay, especially nitrogen lack soil. So especially the plants which are going the nitrogen deficient regions, they cannot convert the atmospheric nitrogen into the plant obtaining nitrogen. So they are failed. So that's why to compensate the nitrogen requirement, okay, so they are converted, they are modified, they are adapted in a different parameters. So they are called insectivorous plants. So these insectivorous plants names are given here: bladderwort, Venus flytrap, and these are uncusp. And these 2 are the best examples for insectivorous plants. And the next one is Cuscuta. Cuscuta is a parasite. It's a complete parasite. Okay, அதுவும் எக்டோ பேரசைட்ஸாக இருக்கும், மரத்துக்கு மேலே தான் அது வளரும். சில ஹாஸ்டோரியான்னு சொல்லக்கூடிய சில ஸ்பெஷலைஸ்டு ரூட்ஸை ப்ரொடியூஸ் பண்ணிட்டு அந்த ரூட்ஸ்ல இருந்து அதனுடைய நியூட்ரிஷன்ஸை சக் பண்ணி எடுத்துட்டு இருக்கும். ஓகே, ஸோ இன்செக்டிவரஸ் பிளான்ஸ் அப்படின்றது வந்து அந்த வளரக்கூடிய இடத்துல நைட்ரஜன் டிஃபிஷியன்சி இருக்கும். அப்போ என்ன பண்ணணும்னா சில இன்செக்டை வந்து கன்சியூம் பண்ணி அதில் இருக்கக்கூடிய நைட்ரஜன் சோர்ஸை வந்து எடுத்துக்கும். ஸோ அதுதான் நம்ம இங்கே இன்செக்டிவரஸ் பிளான்ஸ் அண்ட் பேரசைட்ஸ் அப்படின்னு நம்ம சொல்கிறோம். எக்ஸாம்பிள் வந்து இன்செக்டிவரஸ்க்கு பிளாடர் வோர்ட் அண்ட் வீனஸ் ஃப்ளை ட்ராப்னு 2 பார்த்துருக்கும். ஓகேவா, ரைட். மற்றபடி இங்கே ஆல்ட்ரேஷன் ஜென்ரேஷன் இன்னொரு டாபிக் இருக்கும். அது எப்படின்னா இந்த இடத்துல ஒவ்வொரு பிளான்ட்லையுமே வந்து ஒரு ஹாப்ளாய்டு சைக்கிள் இருக்கும், ஒரு டிப்ளான்டிக் ஃபேஸ் இருக்கும். ஓகே, அதாவது கேமிட்டோஃபைட் ஸ்போரோஃபைட் அப்படின்னு. ஸோ அதுதான் இங்கே ஆல்ட்ரேஷன் ஜென்ரேஷன் சொல்கிறாங்க. அனிமல்ஸில் பொதுவாக இந்த மாதிரியான ஆல்ட்ரேஷன் ஜென்ரேஷன் இருக்காது, எக்ஸப்ட் ஃபைலம் ஆர்கானிசம்ஸ். அதை நம்ம அனிமல் கிங்டம் பார்க்கும்போது அதை பற்றி சொல்கிறேன். ஓகே, and finally we are going to discuss viruses, viroids, prions and lichens. ஸோ இதில் வந்து வைரஸஸை பற்றி இப்போ நம்ம அதிகமாக படிச்சுட்டு இருக்கோம். ஸோ இந்த ஒரு கண்டிஷன் நம்ம ஆளானதுக்கான காரணமே ஒரு வைரஸ் தான். ஓகே, ஸோ viruses are made up of RNA and DNA also. So those viruses are made up of RNA, they are unstable, so they mutate fastly. So that is the reason we are getting Omicron also nowadays. So maybe the India entering into 3rd wave. I don't know whether it is going to a 3rd wave. எந்த அளவுக்கு சிவியரா இருக்காதுன்னு சொல்றாங்க. ஓகே, பட் நம்ம அப்படி எதுவும் அத்தன்டிகேட்டடா எடுத்துக்க முடியாது. ஸோ we have to say. ஓகே, சேஃபா இருங்க, வெளியே வரும்போது மாஸ்க் போட்டுக்குங்க. ஓகே, சேம் ப்ரோட்டோகால்ஸ் அதே தான், திரும்ப அதே ஃபாலோ பண்ணணும், வேற எதுவும் இல்லை. ஓகே, ரைட். ஸோ நம்ம நிறைய காமன் கோல்டாக இருந்தாலும் ஃப்ளூவாக இருந்தாலும் நிறைய நம்ம பாதிக்கப்படுறதுக்கான காரணம் வைரஸஸ் தான். ஸோ இந்த வைரஸஸ் வந்து ஒரு லிவிங் செல்லாக இருக்கும்போது தான் அது லிவிங் ப்ராப்பர்ட்டியாக இருக்கும், மற்றபடி அது நான் லிவிங்காக இருக்கும். அதனால தான் நம்ம அது எந்த ஒரு கிங்டம்லையும் அதை நம்ம சேர்த்துருக்கவே மாட்டோம். ஓகே, தனியாக இருக்கும் அது. ஸோ செல்லுக்கு வெளியே அது கிறிஸ்டலைன் ஃபார்மில் இருக்கும், செல்லுக்குள்ளே வரும்போது தான் அந்த லிவிங் ப்ராப்பர்ட்டி அதுக்கு கிடைக்கும். So we have 2 examples. This is tobacco mosaic virus. This is T4 bacteriophage. The virus can easily kill the bacteria. Okay, right. இப்போ நம்ம சில history point of view சில points பார்க்க போறோம். Dmitry Ivanovsky. So he is the first scientist who named the virus. That means a venom or poisonous fluid. அப்படின்னு சொன்னது யார் அப்படின்னா Dmitry Ivanovsky. And he recognized certain microbes as a casual organisms, the mosaic disease of tobacco. ஸோ அப்போ என்ன பண்ணுறாருன்னா அந்த டொபேக்கோ மொசைக் வைரஸை இவர் ஐசோலேட் பண்ணுறாரு. அண்ட் இவருக்கு அப்புறம் these were found to be smaller than bacteria because they are passed through bacteria proof filters. ஸோ வைரஸ் வந்து பாக்டீரியாவோட சின்ன இருக்கும், 0.02 to 0.2. ஓகே, அந்த அளவுக்கு நானோமீட்டர் அளவில் இருக்கும். செகண்ட் சயின்டிஸ்ட் வந்தீங்க ஜெர்னிக். Actually, he demonstrated that the extract of infected plant tobacco could cause infection in healthy plants. ஒரு பிளான்ட்ஸ்ல இருந்து அந்த ஃப்ளூயிட் எடுத்து இன்னொரு பிளான்ட்ஸ்குள்ள கொடுக்கும்போது அந்த பிளான்ட்ஸும் சஃபர் ஆகுது. ஸோ அந்த ஒரு ஃப்ளூயிடுக்கு வந்து கண்டாஜியம் விவம் ஃப்ளூயிடம், the word is used for the fluid. Okay, contagium vivum fluidum, it is infectious living fluid ன்னு சொல்றாங்க. This is second scientist. And third scientist வந்து ஸ்டான்லி. இவர் தான் முதல்ல வைரஸஸ் வந்து கிறிஸ்டலைஸ் பண்ணியிருப்பாரு. ஓகே, ஸோ தட் இஸ் வெரி இம்பார்ட்டன்ட் டிஸ்கவரி பை ஸ்டான்லி. ஓகே, அண்ட் இங்கே நீங்கள் சில ஜென்ரல் ப்ராப்பர்ட்டிஸ் பற்றி பார்ப்பீங்க வைரஸஸை பற்றி. வெதர் தே ஆர் மேட் அப் ஆஃப் டிஎன்ஏ ஆர் ஆர்என்ஏ, அண்ட் நோ வைரஸ் கண்டெய்ன்ஸ் போத் ஆர்என்ஏ அண்ட் டிஎன்ஏ. ஓகே, திஸ் இஸ் அனதர் வெரி யூனிக் கேரக்டர். ஸோ ஒன்று வைரஸில் ஆர்என்ஏ இருக்கணும், இல்லைன்னா டிஎன்ஏ இருக்கணும். ஓகே, maximum viruses, okay, disease causing viruses are RNA genome, they have RNA genome. So RNA comparatively DNA, RNA is unstable, so chemically and structurally it is unstable. That's why those viruses having RNA, they are easily mutated. Okay, that's why within 2 years the coronavirus are multiplied. Okay, their new forms are there. So now corona become Omicron. So maybe mark my word, it will be continued. We will get more viruses. Okay, there will be more progeny will come in futures. So we have to adapt ourselves. The only reason, the main reason is their genome. ஓகே ஆர்என்ஏ லாஸ்ட் 5 இயர்ஸ்ல எடுத்து பார்த்துக்கிட்டிங்கன்னா தொடர்ந்து நியூ வைரஸஸ் வந்துகிட்டே இருக்கும். ஆல் ஆர் ஆர்என்ஏ வைரஸஸ், எபோலா, ஜீகா, நிஃபா, கொரோனா. ஓகே ரைட். த இம்பார்ட்டன்ட் ரீசன் இஸ் தேர் ஜீனோம். ஓகே அதுதான், அதுக்குள்ள நம்ம இன்னும் டீட்டெயிலாக நான் ஜெனடிக்ஸ் நடத்தும் போது அதை பற்றி டீட்டெயிலாக சொல்கிறேன். ஓகே அண்ட் நவ் what is simple structure? Okay, if you look at virus structure, I mean like coronavirus நீங்க பாத்தீங்கன்னா the outermost layer which is made up of a protein, okay, that is we are calling spike proteins, right? So இப்போ இந்த spike proteins தான் நிறைய changes நடக்குது. And the genes வந்து which are responsible for spike proteins are mutated. Okay, the spike proteins when they are mutated, that's why they are vulnerable. Actually நம்ம அதனால தான் நம்ம vulnerable ஆயிடும். அதுக்கு காரணம் என்னன்னா நம்மளுடைய வேக்சின்ன்றது வந்து ஃபர்ஸ்ட் வந்த அந்த வைரஸ்க்கான இதுதான் எடுத்து வச்சிருந்தோம். பட் இப்போ என்ன ஆகுது அப்படின்னு பார்த்தீங்கன்னா தே ஆர் மியூட்டேட்டட். எவ்ரி டைம் தே மியூட்டேட்டட் தே ஹாவ் நியூ ஸ்பைக் ப்ரோட்டீன்ஸ். ஸோ த ஆன்டிபாடி ப்ரொடக்ஷன் அப்படின்றது ஸ்ட்ரகிள் ஆகுது. ஓகே அதனால தான் நிறைய பேர் பாதிக்கப்பட்டாங்க செகண்ட் வேவ்ல. மேபி நவ் we are vaccinated, many people are vaccinated and we gain immunity. Let's see. Okay, so the bacterial viruses or bacteriophages are the usually double stranded DNA virus. So this is another unique character. So some viruses are single strand and some viruses have double stranded virus. Okay, it's depend upon the genetic material they have. And the protein coat is called capsid. So this is the capsid. Okay, and it's made a small subunits called capsomere. Okay, then in the class protein spikes up. Okay, and these capsomere are arranged in a helical or polyhedral geometric forms. இதான் நம்ம ஸ்பைக் ப்ரோட்டீன்ஸ் பார்ப்போம். ஈஸியாக நம்ம கொரோனா வைரஸை வச்சு நம்ம இதெல்லாம் தெரிஞ்சுக்கலாம். ஓகே அண்ட் பேசிக்காக வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா இதுக்குள்ள ஒரு என்வலாப் இருக்கும். அந்த என்வலாப்குள்ள தான் வந்து ஜெனட்டிக் மெட்டீரியல் இருக்கும், ஆர்என்ஏ, டிஎன்ஏ. மேஜர் வைரஸஸ், டிசீஸ் காசிங் வைரஸஸ் ஆர் ஆர்என்ஏ. ஓகே, எஸ்பெஷலி இன் அனிமல்ஸ். Okay, mumps, smallpox, herpes, influenza. So these are the different viruses causing disease. Okay, so AIDS also is a retroviral disease. Okay, it is caused by virus. And in plants la and pathina mosaic formation, leaf rolling, curling, yellowing, vein clearing, drafting, stunted growth. So these are all the different effects, okay, which is seen in plants by infection of viruses. Okay, and then last two types are viroids. So viroids are smaller than viruses. Okay, so they are discovered by T.O. Dynier. Okay, this is very important. So they can cause disease like a potato spindle tuber disease. Okay, and it was found to be a free RNA and it is lacked a protein coat. See the difference between virus and viroids: absence of protein coat in viroids, but in viruses they have a protein coat. Okay, right. And the RNA molecular weight will be very less in viroids comparatively viruses. So the next one is prions. The prions are infectious neurological, they are actually infectious proteins actually, prions abindrathu. Okay, so the neurological disease, there are two type of neurological disease. One is bovine spongiform encephalopathy, BSE, and commonly called mad cow disease in cattle, and another one is in humans CR-Jakob disease. So these two diseases caused by prions, they are infectious proteins actually. Okay, so not even some proteins also disease caused. Okay, they are called prions, they are infectious proteins. So the disease very important. Viroids abdin solumbodhu you should know spindle tuber disease caused by viroids. Okay, and the prions can cause bovine spongiform encephalopathy in cows, and in humans CR-Jakob disease. Okay, and finally we are going to discuss lichens, and they are the symbiotic association between algae and fungi. See the algal part which is called pycobient, and the fungi part which is called mycobient. Okay, so the pycobient, it's algal part which consists photosynthetic pigments, and it will do photosynthesis, and the mycobient part will derive the nutrients from the soil. Okay, so it's all about lichens. The lichens are very good indicators, pollution indicators. Whether there is a pollution, they are not growing there. Okay, so they are very sensitive. Okay, right here we conclude the lesson, and here we'll discuss a lot of stuff actually. So every line, every word we analyzed here. So that much importance are there. Okay, and over Vashamu, minimum 2 to 3 questions we can expect from this lesson. Okay, right. Any doubts regarding the lesson?
No, sir.
It is understood. Everybody understood the lesson.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
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 It is easy, right? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Very all the best for your Sunday test. Okay, so prepare well. Do your
How
exam.
many questions will they ask, sir?
Totally now I given 45. Okay, if sir wants more, I will give you another 5 also. Okay, now I made 45 questions from both the lessons, living world and biological classification, because living world is very simple lesson, is a small lesson. So that's why I add this lesson also. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. All the best. Do well. Good night.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you, sir.
Hmm.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, students. Bye bye.
Thank you.